Hello, this is Dee Dee Mitten and I would like to introduce you to Mr. Turtle. Actually my husband rescued, I'm not going to take the credit for this, he actually rescued this adorable little turtle from the main road. He brought him home about a week ago now, and he saved him from being splattered by a car, which actually today my husband actually did see a turtle that had been hit by a car and he didn't make it, so we're actually incredibly relieved that we found him and brought him home and he's now safe and sound. So we was going to release him in a little river that we kayak sometimes, and there's a lot of red-headed slider turtles in that area, but we fell in love with this little guy and we want to keep him, and he seems pretty content with that actually. He's used to us now. He begs for worms and we've only had him a week, so yeah, he's really sleepy at the moment. It's kind of late and I don't think he's happy that I turned his light back on. Sorry little guy, I've got to do a quick video. So yes, when we found him, he was covered in algae from his shell. And I mean covered, it was like he was wearing a wig. It was absolutely, in fact, I will insert a picture if I can figure out how to do it on Windows Movie Maker. And you can see how bad it was. And you can see how bad it was. Yeah, other than that, he seemed really healthy. As I've taken most of the algae off his shell, I have noticed some pitting. So I have got a little bit concerned about shell rot. I don't think he has shell rot. I'm almost certain he doesn't, because he doesn't have any white marks. But he has some pits where the algae was, and I'm watching them incredibly closely to make sure that they were just the roots from the algae and it's not a sign of shell rot. So I've been dry tanking him for a couple of hours a day and putting him in the sun and things like that. Well, not directly in the sun because he'll get too hot, but in the warm air and giving him some room to wander about if he wants sun. But he does seem more happy and content being inside than he does outside. I don't know, maybe he wasn't ever captive and he's just a wild turtle, and obviously the birds and things freak him out. So yeah, all I have so far, because turtle keeping is incredibly expensive. So if you're thinking about buying one of those little hatchlings at the flea market or wherever, think about it hard, because number one, make sure that they are actually being sold legally. I know if they're under 4 inches, I don't know if it's in width or in length, but if they're under 4 inches either way, they're probably selling them too early and it's illegal to sell them that young. And also those little palm tree lagoons they come with are really not practical at all for the care of a turtle. Yeah, I almost did buy a turtle like that myself last year and I was incredibly ignorant. Now I've actually looked up the care that they need. He's looking at me. I don't have a worm. The care that they need, they're not just a fish that you can throw in a tank and just let them get on with it. No, there is a lot more to them than that. And I will give you some advice actually on what I've learned this past week and pass it on to you. And I'll leave some good links in the description below of some really good websites I found actually. So first and foremost, water temperature is incredibly important. An adult red-eared slider needs about 74 degrees water temperature. It can vary slightly between 74 to 78, so anywhere in between there's fine. And their basking area, which would be a place completely dry and out of the water for them to climb, under a heat lamp, needs to be between 90 and 95. And it's really important that you watch those temperatures because you don't want the turtle catching hypothermia either way, whether it be from being too cold or too hot. Also, what's just as important as a heat lamp is UVB rays. Obviously, they usually do get their UVA rays and their heat source from the heat lamp, but you also need to buy a UVB lamp. And I purchased the Zilla T825 Tropical UVB lamp. It came in this fitting here. What I haven't done yet, and I realised today on more of my research, is I need to remove this plastic cover in front of the bulb that is actually blocking a lot of the UV rays, if not all of them. So when I'm done with this video, I'm going to remove that. And also, the mesh that I have his lamp sitting on is probably too small. It should be no less than half an inch in width, the little holes in the mesh. So I'm probably going to have to buy another tank lid. I actually do have a 40-gallon tank for him, but I'm nowhere near having it set up yet because I'm just buying things slowly and in list of importance. What I don't have yet also is a filter. Or I'm actually going to buy 2 for one each side of the tank when I get some. So I have him in the bathtub at the moment, so I can give him a daily water change, and I use the I dechlorinate the water with this AquaSafe. This one is for goldfish or fish, so I don't know if there is one specifically for reptiles. I haven't read or been able to find that out anywhere, so if any of you turtle experts out there know of a better one, please recommend it, because this is the one I use for my goldfish. So hopefully that's okay for him. It's made me worry actually. I also bought a water heater that is keeping the water. Actually, I just did a water change, and this is Texas, so the cold water comes out warm. Right now it is at 76 right now. So I don't have the water heater on at the moment because I'm waiting for the water to go down to about 74, and then I'll turn this on, and it should keep it at a consistent 74 degrees. It's been doing that fine, so it's not a bad little water heater actually. It's doing its job. I don't have a heat lamp yet either. That is on my list. I do have a regular house bulb with a piece of foil that's producing the heat for him, but the little bugger won't bask. He just won't do it. He almost wants to climb on top of this log that we bought him. And I actually lowered the water level today because I was trying to get him to bask on this, and he won't, I guess because it's too open. So I lowered it slightly. Obviously you want the water level for an adult turtle higher than they are wide, in case they capsize or like flip over under the water. They'll drown if they can't turn themselves back over. So that's something you need to really, really think about when you have a little turtle. They need some depth in their water. So yeah, I don't know if he's been sneak basking on me. I haven't caught him doing it yet. I've really snuck up and I haven't heard him jump in the water or anything. So what I've been doing is, for a couple of hours a day, is dry tanking him or taking him outside. Dry tanking him, I just pop him in this little basket here, cover it over so he's not scared, and just leave him in there for a couple of hours with some shells and things. And that's unfortunately, Mr. Turtle, if you're not going to bask, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be dry tanked, whether you like it or not, because we don't need any shell rot, especially with the algae. So yes, I'm currently feeding him earthworms from the back garden, because that is all this little turtle will eat. I'm going to buy him some aquatic plants this weekend. That is on my list, along with the heat lamp and the pumps. So hopefully, I did catch him nibbling on the plastic foliage here. He didn't break anything of it off, but he did tug on it. So I'm hoping that some lemongrass or some water hyacinth will entice him to eat. He hasn't nibbled on these dandelion leaves. No. So maybe because he can't pull it off because it's just floating. So I'm going to buy him some proper water plants that are fresh and ready to eat. So yeah, get him some greens, because an adult turtle can only eat, I think, like 25% of their diet should be protein based. So he needs to get his vegetables, and he's not eating his veg. Typical little turtle. What I did buy him, and I'm having a lot of trouble getting him to eat, are the Reptomin little floaty sticks and the freeze-dried crickets. He ate one of each one day and decided that he hated them. And all that's left for me to do now is soak these things in canned tuna or salmon in water juice to see if that'll entice him. If not, then I don't know what I'm going to do about this little guy, because I know that these are very good because they've got a lot of vitamins and things in them. So, but this only needs to make up about 25% of his diet. The rest is vegetables that he doesn't seem to want to know. So yeah, that's all I have to review on my turtle today. I am in love with him. Really, really do love this little guy. Hello. Yeah, he's tired. He wants to sleep. He's had a bit of a hectic day being dry tanked and trying to escape from there. And when I got back, actually, because I did leave him unattended to get some food, and I came back and he had water on his back. So I don't know if he weed in there and then flipped his silly butt over trying to get out, which kind of makes me think I'm not going to leave you unattended ever again because you can't be trusted. But he was covered. He couldn't get out of there and there was no water in there for him to drown, but still, I need to watch him like a hawk. He's a rambunctious little thing, aren't you? So yes, that is Mr. Turtle. I will be giving regular updates on his care and well-being. Hopefully I've given some advice to any would-be or want-to-be turtle owners. And I wouldn't recommend plucking a turtle from the wild. We rescued him from the road. There was no river, or we couldn't find a river or pond nearby to just let him go, so we did have to bring him home. But we did just decide to keep him because he did take to us straight away. Obviously, if he was scared or terrified and wouldn't eat, I mean, he's been eating like he's never eaten before. He's a little beggar already. So, but obviously, if you do find a turtle and there's a pond or somewhere you can release him, I would suggest that. This little guy just seems to have taken quite well to being looked after. He doesn't seem to want to leave. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, please ask in the comment section below and I will try and answer them as best as I can. I will also put some links in the description of some really awesome turtle websites that I've got a lot of my information from. And they've just been awesome for me because without those websites I wouldn't have a clue what I was doing. So, and also, if any turtle experts out there happen to stumble across this video and have any advice for me, I would really appreciate it because anything to make this little guy's life better, I am all for. But he seems happy, don't ya? Me, buddy. Yeah, I will keep you guys updated on little Mr. Turtle's health and, like I said, well-being, and he's falling asleep. He seems to like the sound of my voice, which is rare because people normally tell me to shut up. Okay, well, I'm going to let him sleep. I'm going to turn this little light off now. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, yes, I'm leaving now. Please put them in the description bar below. And I'm very excited to show you all his tank when I have it finally set up. So I hope you all have a lovely day. Yeah, well, thanks for watching.